While working on my video about updated Lolita fashion resources, I naturally began thinking about outdated ones. And I put out a little feeler on Instagram to see if anyone had information on Lacebook, and within 24 hours, I was speaking directly to its creator. It is wild to me how connected the Lolita community truly is, and I am so grateful for that. It's interesting that we don't really use internet in the same way, at least I don't. How often do you sit down at your desktop and open your bookmarks tab and go to individual websites? I feel like most of us now navigate the internet mostly on our phones through different apps and platforms, and even if we are on our computer, it's still like going from one platform to another and not necessarily these individual websites. What do you think about that? How do you use the internet? I really miss these small independent websites and exploring them. So let's take a trip down memory lane together and explore some defunct Lolita fashion websites. Before we dive into things, I want to take a quick moment to thank today's sponsor, Native. I've been using Native deodorants for over a year now, and I really enjoy their fresh scents that last all day, glide on smooth, and dry very quickly. Native has more to offer than just deodorants. They have a whole line of different personal care items, including body washes, and some of the scents can even match the deodorants, which I love. Just like Native's deodorants, their body washes are made with clean, effective, and simple ingredients that are easy to understand. They are vegan and cruelty-free, made with plant-based cleansers, and include citric acid for pH balance to keep your skin feeling fresh. Usually when I review scents, I have a specific favorite, but with these 3 body washes, I truly enjoy all of them for different reasons. I had to choose this cherry vanilla macaron because it just feels so Lolita. Not only are there cherry prints, but macarons are also a staple in Lolita fashion culture. And this body wash smells like childhood. It's so fruity and sweet. I feel like using this body wash when I want to really embrace that OTT sweet over-the-top feeling and lifestyle, whereas the aloe and green tea is more for like if I'm feeling nature-y and I just want to feel fresh without other scents impeding. In general, I'm usually not a fan of lilac on its own, but its combination with white tea makes it really soothing and a calming, refreshing scent, and I actually really enjoy it. Native has also recently launched a candy shop collection, which is perfect for kawaii enthusiasts and sweet Lolitas. This collection is obnoxiously craveable with candy shop inspired scents that give a bright moment of indulgence with delicious flavor and colorful fun all around. Use my link and code to get 20% off your first purchase at Native. This offer is available site-wide, but for a limited time, so stock up and save. Native gives you the opportunity to explore magical scents through clean products, and I am so grateful for them continuing to support my content. Thanks so much, Native. I'm gonna start off by telling you my experiences with Lacebook as a user and sort of the perception that it had in my local community at the time, and then a bunch of updated information that I got directly from its creator. Lacebook was intended to be a Lolita fashion version of Facebook, and I don't have a lot of images to show you because not a lot of it was documented. I joined after receiving an invitation in 2013, and this invitation system was a point of contention in my local community because people felt like it was purposefully trying to exclude people. It was being gatekeepy. I noticed that in conversation in my local community at the time that this website was being compared to Facebook, and people had a lot of expectations for it because they were associating it with Facebook. But to me, I figured that the invitation system was to sort of limit traffic because I assumed that this was a really small project. I think that definitely at that time, people were not as internet literate and didn't understand really how these things worked. People weren't really truly thinking about what a huge enterprise Facebook is and the gajillions of dollars they have to work with and the huge staff and members and all different departments that they have to keep that website running. I used the platform very briefly to post a few coordinate photos. To be honest, I don't remember a lot of it, but I can tell you that it was really cute to use. The layout was very adorable. I remember that shortly after I started using Lacebook, it was shut down, and I had heard that they received a cease and desist from Facebook, but I was never sure if that was true. What I learned from the creator is that she was a moderator for the EGL LiveJournal community at that time, and noticed that people were moving away from LiveJournal and more towards Facebook. However, Facebook's privacy settings back then were not at all what they are today, so anyone who you were friends with could see all of your activity and all of your photos. And a lot of people want to keep their work life, their family life, separate from their Lolita life. Her objective for making Lacebook was to make a more private, safe, and secure space for Lolitas to just flourish in their Lolita life and their Lolita passions. She also was inspired by the Daily Lolita LiveJournal rules that posts there would not be shared to Lolita Secrets, and she really wanted to make a way to encourage photos not to be saved or shared on places like that and 4chan. So she looked into ways to encode and encrypt images so that they would not be savable or downloadable, but also stated that you can of course still screenshot them, so no image of you is safe. Whatever you upload to the internet can be there forever, and evil people can use them for whatever they want. It is very noble to want to protect Lolitas, of course everyone wants that, but it's a tough, difficult lesson that we all need to learn with posting on the internet. It turns out that Lacebook was only fully active for about 1 month, and that it was operating for a few months before that, but as a beta, and that's why there was an invitation. Lacebook did receive a message from Facebook, and the creator thought at first that it was a joke because she received the message through Facebook Messenger, but then later she did receive an actual letter from a Facebook lawyer who was threatening legal action over the name of Lacebook, and also threatening to take the platform away and asking for an absorbent amount of money. The creator at the time did not have enough money to pursue this legal action, so she shut the website down and instead decided to focus her energy on hosting events within her local communities. Lacebook was always meant to be a fun side project, but it turns out that there is a great deal of more legislation required in privacy for websites like this, and she just did not have the resources to bring that back. She always thought that the site would be on a bit of a hiatus until she could figure out a name change and more of these legalities, but now feels that there isn't really a need for a site like this in the current day because Facebook has changed a lot of their privacy settings. It's funny to me now that people back then were talking about Lacebook and comparing it to Facebook, because it turns out that the Lacebook team consisted of only one programmer, being the creator, and then about 10 moderators and a handful of other friends that were helping her test the website. That is such a small team. I do think it would still be cool to have a Lolita only space, some sort of platform, but I recognize that in this day and age, all of the platforms we use have gigantic corporations behind them, and Lolita fashion might just be too small and too niche to have that, but I have hope. It's cool to see that someone tried and made a go of it. I have not spoken directly to the creator of Hello Lace. It seems from everything that I have read that they do not want to be contacted. They have left Lolita Fashion. So I ask all of you, please respect their wishes. Please do not go seeking them out and trying to contact them. The information that I'm presenting to you in this section of the video was all gathered from Sage Blossom, Rain Dragon, as well as my own research and opinions. So all of this is alleged. I got a lot of information from a resource that is not, at the time of filming this, currently available to the public, but when it does become public, I will be posting it in my community tab. Hello Lace was a website where you could find information about Lolita fashion and substyles and community, and it was also a database for Lolita clothing pieces. I really missed this website because it was a great place to just send beginners, and as I mentioned in my other video, the What is Lolita Fashion page was a great brief explanation of Lolita fashion that even local communities I was a part of printed out and would hand to people. Hello Lace was founded in 2010, and I did not realize that Lolaberry was also founded in 2010. I didn't discover Lolaberry until Hello Lace was shut down, and I don't think that's because of Lolaberry or Hello Lace. It was just that my friends happened to tell me about Hello Lace, and I didn't go looking for other resources because I just used Hello Lace. Hello Lace was a very small operation. In 2011, it was publicly credited as having 3 people involved, and then in 2012, another programmer was added. However, it's not known exactly how large of a staff there was. There may have been other people involved that were not publicly credited. I'm not going to use any of their names because although this information is there in the archives, it's not currently public, so I'm not sure how they would feel about it. Under the What is Lolita tab, there was a brief history of Lolita fashion and lifestyle, a great place to start when explaining the fashion to someone who is new. There was an outfit analysis tab, which would explain a breakdown of a coordinate, showing a bunch of different examples of pieces to put together. And I think that this is a really great breakdown of an outfit because the same sorts of ideas that I would get from just scanning through Gothic Lolita Bible is even more so broken down in almost a mathematical way. You really get to see each aspect of a coordinate demonstrated and showing different precise pieces. Then there was a novice's guide, which explains step by step how to become a Lolita, where to start, and also common mistakes to avoid. The last section of the What is Lolita category was a glossary of commonly used terms in the community. Later on, there was an FAQ section added to the What is Lolita menu. Then there was a style list, which explained a bunch of different Lolita fashion substyles, and it was really neat to see such niche styles within the fashion broken down so comprehensively. Then there was the wardrobe category, which is where the database of Lolita items was. By July 1st, 2010, this wardrobe section had 337 items listed, and 270 of those items were angelic pretty dresses. I think that the creator had a bias, but you know, we all did at those times. We were all obsessed with angelic pretty then. Hello Lace had a lot of different unique ideas of ways that they wanted to expand the website. I think it's really interesting that they decided to add worn photos of each item under their listing, but I can see how this could get problematic and messy because how do you choose whose photos to show on the website? And if you chose to show everyone's website or everyone's photos, then it would become really messy and unorganized. The following tabs were inspiration, which housed a bunch of different coordinates and hairstyles. And then the last tab was shopping, which showed different ways to shop for Lolita fashion. They created a forum for this website. This was a way to get people more active and contributing to the website. However, it was not very successful, and I don't know how I missed it because it was clearly advertised on the banner of their site. But through its lifetime, it only had about 200 topics being made, which is shocking to think about, considering that now the monthly mega thread of questions on the Lolita Reddit forums have like more than 200 responses a month. I'm not sure why, but throughout its life, Hello Lace changed between being 2 words and 1 word. I'm curious as to why that is. I'm not sure of the exact downfall of Hello Lace, but I'm going to speculate. There was a brief period from 2011 to 2012 when the site was shut down, and this was because the creator wanted to update it, they wanted to change the way it looked, they wanted to potentially add new things to the website. When Hello Lace returned from its hiatus, they explained through Twitter that they were looking for someone else to add to the team in order to continue these really ambitious ideas. They needed a volunteer with a larger skill set and someone someone who could regularly have a lot of time to invest in the website, and this became a reoccurring pattern within the site's lifetime. It seems like the creator was always looking for more people to be involved. At this time, a lot of people questioned why the creator did not collaborate with Lolaberry, and they basically stated that they didn't want to take away from Lolaberry, they didn't want to compete with them, they didn't want Lolaberry to change to meet their needs, they didn't want to change their website to meet Lolaberry's needs. I don't know how Lolaberry thinks or feels about any of this, it's all my speculation. My personal opinion is it would be nice if they had if Hello Lace had sort of given up their wardrobe section and just stayed as an information site and then just left the Lolaberry site as a wardrobe, and then maybe the two of them could like connect a link saying like find out on Lolaberry, saying find out more information about Lolita fashion here, and then lead to Hello Lace, and Hello Lace being like find out more wardrobe information here, and then go to Lolaberry. But you know, this is only my opinion as an outsider not involved with either of these. But basically, the Hello Lace creator wanted to live in harmony with Lolaberry and just be an additional resource that had similar aspects. In 2012, Hello Lace moved their updates of the site from Twitter to Tumblr, but after they moved to Tumblr, they made significantly less regular, less frequent updates. In October 2012, Milanu sent a cease and desist to Hello Lace because they had a tab that was explaining that Milanu is a scam, according to them. And the cease and desist stated laws in the US, however, neither Milanu or the person behind Hello Lace was based in the US, so it was a bit frivolous and nothing came of it. And I would just like to state that I am in Canada, and that I would not personally recommend shopping on Milanu, and that is my opinion. It seems to me that throughout Hello Lace's lifetime, they really struggled to get more people involved. And they had a lot of great ambitious ideas, but they just didn't have the actual support and people and skill set to do so. It's hard, you know, it's hard to get people to do work for free. It's hard to make these sites run with an extremely limited budget, and that's why we should always continue to support the ones that do exist in whatever way we can, whether it's, you know, contributing your time and effort to work on them, or contributing monetarily through like Patreons, and just by using them, just by going to them, frequenting them and sharing them. By November 2012, Hello Lace had archived 6,284 items, but strangely in 2013, their entire moi-même moitié section silently disappeared. That brought their archived items list down to 5,688 items. In February of 2015, Hello Lace was hacked, and then again in October 2015, the website was hacked again, and subsequently closed in November of 2015. The owner stated the reason for its closure was that they didn't have time to run it and they didn't really have an interest in Lolita fashion anymore. I suspect, it is my opinion, that possibly the reason the site is fully gone is due to it being hacked. It would have been great if the owner had just left it up as is. I understand losing interest in something and not wanting to update it and upkeep it. There's money involved, even if you're not running a website and currently updating it. Just for it to exist there as it was would cost money, but I feel like it's relatively not a lot, and I think that in this day and age, you could have a Patreon to just cover the costs of hosting it. When Hello Lace closed in 2015, they had 5,688 items archived, and their version 2 of the website was never completed or released. If you decide to explore Hello Lace for yourself on the Wayback Machine, I highly recommend that you avoid 2015. And this was recommended to me by multiple people, that the site may still have malware from the hacking on the Wayback Machine on the images of it from 2015 and onwards. So I would just stick with like 2011 to 2014 just to be safe, and make sure that you protect your computer. Before I start this segment, I would like to formally apologize to all French speakers. I have terrible French pronunciation. I'm very sorry. But at least I'm going to try, unlike a lot of my friends at the time when this website was active who just gave up and called it Poupee Girl. Poupee Girl was not specifically a Lolita fashion website. However, many Lolitas used it, and a lot of the items that the avatars would wear had a lot of Lolita fashion inspiration, and I questioned whether to put this in my video games topic or here, but I feel like there was much more of an emphasis around the social networking aspects of the site rather than seeing it as gaming. Many Lolitas, myself included, use this website to document their own wardrobes as well as try to make their avatars reflect them. The website centered around dressing up avatars. The currency in this game was ribbons, which you would use to buy clothing items for your avatar and dress them up. You would earn ribbons by completing different tasks like logging into the website, regularly dressing up and changing the outfits of your avatar, commenting on people's posts, uploading photos of your own real-life clothing. And then there was a like button, or a suteki button, and you would get rewards from liking other people's posts and having people like your posts. In 2009, the website introduced a pay-to-play currency called jewels, and there were certain items that you could only get by paying the jewel currency for. The website had a mascot called Catherine, who I completely forgot about until making this video. Can you believe that? Catherine and I were close. We were cool. We were buddies. Catherine's store sold a lot of seasonal items that corresponded with monthly events. The game also had a Nintendo DS version as well as a Facebook game, but I'm not gonna get into either of these today. I feel like I've given the DS era, the 3DS era, too much airtime on my channel already as it is, so if you'd like, maybe I will explore this game on my Patreon. I've never played it. In August of 2013, the website ended all updates, and then in March of 2015, the site fully closed. I couldn't find an exact reason for why the site closed. I'm assuming that there must have been just less users on the site and possibly just a lack of interest in continuing it. There was a follow-up app called Dolly Collection, which was created by two former team members from Poupee Girl, and I completely missed this app. It flew under my radar. Fluffy Kawaijo made a video exploring it if you would like to see, but it was basically a much simplified version of Poupee Girl where you simply dressed up an avatar, but you could save the avatar and post it on other sites. As well as the app, there was also physical merchandise and NFTs that you could buy of the dolls in this doll collection. The app was shut down in 2019 due to lack of interest. The main designer and artist behind Poupee Girl as well as Dolly Collection, whose name I am going to struggle to say, Ma Noir, still has an active Instagram account where you can appreciate her art, so if you miss it, you can go look at it there. It is so cute and just so nostalgic to see. I debated on including this because I don't necessarily miss these websites, and they aren't exactly standalone websites, they're communities within LiveJournal, but I feel like for history's sake, they're important to include. But as you can see, we're in my bathroom. This is the background that Lolita Secrets deserves. I should warn you that by seeing these websites, just their design, it might be really upsetting to some of you, so there is a timeline. You can skip this section if you want. Lolita Secrets, or Lolly Secrets, was a community within LiveJournal where people would post anonymous images. They were updated on a weekly basis, and then people would also comment on them. It was fun when these images were making fun of community things at large, looking at different brand items. It was a great source for funny memes, but the majority of it was making fun of people and attacking them. a lot of the times based off of their physical appearance. I believe that this site, Lolita Secrets, was in succession to GTFO which was before my time in Lolita fashion, and I have no idea what went on that site, but allegedly what I've heard is that it was similar, but there were a lot less restrictions with privacy. I didn't find out about Lolita Secrets until I was already pretty active in the community. Somehow it went under my radar in the beginning for quite a while, and then by the time I discovered them, I was making Lolita say, and I was featured in them quite a lot. I learned pretty quickly to just ignore the page entirely, and especially not to look at the comment section, and I found that a lot of the memes that would be created on it would find its way to like Tumblr and Facebook and Instagram, so I would see them that way rather than subjecting myself to the flaming. In tandem with Lolita Secrets, there were Dolly Valentines, which was basically the opposite type of community. You would be posting people and appreciating things and being positive and nice towards them. And Dolly Valentines definitely deserves a better backdrop than this bathroom, but it's being lumped together. Dolly Valentine's community stopped in 2017 and then moved to Facebook, and it looks like the Facebook community is still there, but their last post was in 2021. At this time, people didn't really think about the erotic connotations that Lolly had. The English-speaking community more so used it as a short form for Lolita, but then of course moved away from that later on. That's why these sites were called Lolita Secrets and Dolly Valentines. Sources say that Lolita Secrets was taken down in 2013, but I feel like it was so much later, but maybe I'm just confusing it with its successor, which was Behind the Bows, which was another LiveJournal community very similar. It seems like there were disagreements and moderators basically didn't want to be involved with Lolita Secrets, and that's ultimately why it closed, and then Behind the Bows started doing essentially the same thing, and it said that the people involved with those communities were not the same people, they had no connection. Behind the Bows lasted until March 26, 2021, and it cites that it was closed down due to changes in the way anonymous posting and anonymous commenting would be on LiveJournal. I'm pretty sure that sites like this still exist, but I have absolutely no interest in finding them. I'm pretty sure that the good memes will find their way to me through other sources. I think that Dolly Valentines was a great site. I don't necessarily miss it now because I feel like you can take that energy just in posting on people's Instagrams, on their TikTok, if you're on Facebook, commenting on their Facebook photos. You don't really need a separate site to appreciate Lolitas, like they're just out there for your appreciation. And I do encourage you to, say the sorts of things that you would on Lolita Valentines just to Lolitas directly. I want to know, were you active on any of the sites that I have listed throughout this video? What were your experiences like? Do you remember things differently? Do you remember them the same? Do they make you nostalgic? Do they make you fearful? Are there any defunct Lolita fashion websites that you missed that I didn't list in this video? Please let me know. Leave all your thoughts in the comments and let's reminisce and learn together. The truth is we need a better blogging platform. We moved from LiveJournal, then we moved to Tumblr, and now what is there? Nothing. It's all broken up. There's no central popular blog platform. Something to think about, programmers. They should make a dress-up game for Wombles, where you put different clothes on Wombles. That would be cute. I would like that. A long Furby dress-up simulator website. A network for long Furbies to share their outfits. Oh my gosh. A Furby social networking site. Wombles, let's do it. Developers, let's do it, please. A dating website where you match over your Furbies.